Ooh, my too zoomed in. I did this right. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So hi, long time no see. I kind of disappeared off of YouTube for like a cool minute, and now I'm back and I have lots of really cool updates, and I just wanted to come up here and do like a get ready with me. I actually have to go to work, so we're gonna be getting ready with me. For those that don't know me, my name is Cindy Millan, and I do like sporadically vlogging around here and there, and I also do like makeup content here and there as well. So yeah, I am back and I have tinsels in my hair now. How cute. So let's see. So in today's video, let me get some water. I have some exciting news. I'm pregnant, and so I just kind of want to do like the story time on how I found out I was pregnant. You know what? I have this clip that I could use. I had another clip, but I don't know where it went.
It's not super saucy, but I'm gonna try it.
Let's see.
Is it good or is it not? It's okay. Is it good? Alright, I'll pack it up to you.
Thank you. My husband is so cute. I made like a chicken broccoli casserole the other day, and he made it into what is it, like fettuccine alfredo. Right, so I just moisturized with the Tula 24/7 Moisture Intense Hydrating Cream, day and night cream. Oh, I think this was sometime in March, like beginning of March. Oh, so little backstory. So I, for like years, thought that maybe I was just very infertile, and maybe I couldn't get pregnant just yet, and that is because I wasn't having a normal period. And for the past like 2 years I wasn't even having a period, first of all. So I was kind of thinking like, oh shit, like I must have like PCOS, and then like a lot of the symptoms kind of matched up to what PCOS is, so I assumed maybe I just can't really get pregnant right now. And when I was 15, my mom took me to the doctor because of, you know, me having irregular periods. So then my doctor put me, at the time, she had put me on birth control pills, and I was on birth control pills for like about 5 years, and sometime when I turned 20, I'm 22 now, but sometime when I turned 20, I stopped taking birth control pills. Ooh. I stopped taking them because, you know, I kind of was like, damn, you know, like sometime in the future I want to have kids, but I want to be able to have them on my own. And I just felt like these birth control pills were just messing me up, like really badly. I stopped taking them. I feel like these birth control pills made me gain so much more weight, and I just wasn't happy on them. I feel like I had terrible mood swings, especially like going into your 20s. And I just feel like it's a time where, you know, your body's like preparing, you know, you for adulthood. You're mentally preparing yourself for adulthood, and having all these hormones and you know, whatever what birth control pills are made out of be in your body. Yeah, I just figured, you know what, let me take a break from this and let me try to fix the issue on my own. And of course that meant like exercising, having a way better, healthier lifestyle, and I feel like that was very, very difficult for me. So then, okay, fast forward this past March, here in this March 2023. So the way I found out I was pregnant was that so a little backstory for that week. So everyone in my household was getting like a stomach virus. I did my eyebrows with the NYX thickening brow mascara in the shade Espresso. I love this stuff. And then I'm also shaping them with the Tarte Shape Tape. So like, let's say that week, okay, I found out on a Sunday I was pregnant. Probably like around on a Friday, my family started getting food poisoning. So it started with like my younger nephews, and then it slowly ended up like with like my siblings and my parents. Like they were all getting some kind of stomach virus. So they were all like throwing up and like just feeling sick. So then when Saturday night came around, me and my boyfriend had ate Jack in the Box, you know, like not the best food ever. So Saturday night, after we finished eating, we had ordered like munchie meals, and obviously, you know, it comes with like the greasiest tacos ever. So whatever, we ate that, and then that night I was just like feeling very queasy. So okay, I just blended out my concealer for my eyebrows. So anyways, so my family was getting food poisoning, and then on Saturday night that happened. So then I was blaming the Jack in the Box tacos. I was like, oh, maybe because they're so greasy they were like messing with my stomach. Okay, now I'm gonna go with the Rare Beauty foundation. This is in the shade 290N. So then, okay, so I was blaming the tacos from Jack in the Box, and I was like, damn, like maybe they're so greasy that just like I'm getting like sick from that. So then that night I was like, you know what, oh, I got foundation on me. So then that night I was telling my boyfriend, I'm like, yo, like I'm like really sick. I'm like, I'm feeling kind of nauseous. So then whatever, I kind of like pulled through. So then I decided, you know what, I'm gonna just go to sleep and, you know, basically sleep it off. So then that's what I did. I went to sleep, and the next morning I woke up like around 6 in the morning because my boyfriend had to go to work like super early, and this was already on that Sunday I found out. So I woke up at 6 in the morning and I was still feeling kind of sick. So like not as sick as I was the night before, but I was just kind of like, ooh, like it's still lingering, the feeling is still lingering around. And so then I'm like, oh, like I hope I didn't catch on to the stomach virus that my family was having like the day before, 2 days before, kind of where I was at with that. I ended up just going back to sleep, and so I went back to sleep, and my boyfriend, I think he just did like a really short like shift. So he was back by like 10 a.m. He was back, and it was like a really short shift, really short day for him for working. So he came back around 10 a.m. and he was like, hey, like let's, you know, get food. And that morning he ended up surprising me with the he ended up gifting me the Nike Dunks, the Pandas. So he was very excited about that. We go pick those up, and then we go ahead and order food, which was from one of my favorite places ever here in LA. It's like Italian food. So then before we left, I was feeling so sick, like I had to let it out. Like I had to let it out. Like I'm usually the type of person that I would rather like not throw up or avoid vomiting. My body was just not having it, and I had to like throw up, like vomit, and I did. And you know, my stomach was pretty empty, so there was nothing but stomach acid, and it was the most disgusting thing ever. And then we came back from getting the shoes, and then we got our food, which was our breakfast by then. And so then when we came back, as soon as we came back, I threw up again. And I was like, oh no, like I have it. I'm like, I have the stomach virus already. And I couldn't even eat my breakfast at all. I was so sick. Like I barely even touched my breakfast. And I was just kind of sad, and I was like, oh my god, like I can't believe I got the stomach virus. And so then like a couple hours go by, and I kid you not, I probably like threw up that day like 10 times, not playing. I was so tired. I was so mentally drained, physically drained, because I kept, you know, vomiting, but there was nothing in my stomach. So every time I would vomit, it would just be like the liquids I was drinking, like water, Gatorade. I think my mother-in-law gave me like some kind of like homemade remedy, like a lemon tea, to kind of help soothe my stomach. That came back out. So everything was just liquids and stomach acid. Like stomach acid is disgusting. So that's basically how my whole day went. At some point for dinner time, my boyfriend, in this point in time, he enjoyed eating out for like breakfast, dinner, and lunch. Like he enjoyed eating out. And so then he ended up getting tacos asada that night. And he was like, babe, like I know you're sick, but are you hungry? He was like, I'm hungry. And so I'm like, not really, like I don't want to eat anything. So then I was like, you know what, like get me those tacos asada, like give me 2 tacos, and then like I'll see if I can eat it. And then as soon as he brought them, oh my god, I was just disgusted. I was disgusted. And like they're like from another place that I love eating from, so I was like, oh my god, like why am I disgusted? Like I couldn't even eat the 2 tacos. Like I all I did was I just picked off the meat from like one of the tacos real quick, and then that was it. Like I was just like, no, like take it away, like I don't even want this anymore. And so then I was getting a little concerned. I was like, damn, like I really cannot, like I don't have any food in my stomach. So then I call my mom, and I'm telling her, oh well, I think she called me, and she was like, how are you doing? She's like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm like, mom, I'm like, I think I have the stomach virus. I'm like, I think you guys gave me whatever stomach virus was going around in that house. I have it now. And then she was telling me how my sister, she lives in a, she moved out. So she was telling me how my sister somehow got this stomach virus too, but my sister hasn't been in the house. So she's like, I don't know how your sister even got sick too. Like she's like, you guys aren't even like, you guys haven't been to like the house like so often to kind of be like, yeah, we all passed it around to each other. So then I was just like, what? Like I'm like, maybe it's just like a thing that's, maybe it's just a thing that's going around right now. So then, so I was telling her like, no, but like my symptoms are like super like intense. And I was kind of telling her like, oh, like don't worry, but like if this continues by tomorrow, like I'm for sure gonna go to the ER. And then I was basically explaining to her my symptoms, and she's like, she's like, we're all just like vomiting like once or twice. She's like, you're throwing up like 10 times in one day. And then she was like, are you sure you're not pregnant? And I was like, oh my god, mom, I'm like, I promise you I'm not pregnant. Me saying that because I was like, oh, like, you know, I don't have a period, meaning I'm not ovulating. So then like, I don't know, in my head I was like, it's okay, so there's no way, you know, I could get pregnant, you know. So then I was like, mom, no, I'm not pregnant. Like, I'm like, it's just like, I don't know, I think maybe like this stomach virus just has me, like has like a whole grip on me. And then she was like, oh, okay. But she's like, maybe try testing yourself for, you know, like pregnancy test. And then my boyfriend comes and he's like, yeah, ha ha ha, I think she is pregnant. And I was like, oh my god, like please, like don't get any ideas into my mom's head, because she will for real she will not stop bothering me until I show her a pregnancy test. So then I was like, okay mom, like I'll call you later. My boyfriend's being annoying. So then whatever, so we hang up, and then I told her I'll update you how I feel tomorrow morning, and if I don't feel good, like I'm gonna end up going to the ER, because it's not okay for me to be feeling this sick. It's not okay for me to be feeling this nauseous. So then that night I probably threw up another like 2 times, and I was just pale. I had no energy. I was basically just like super, like you can tell it was taking a toll on me. And then my mother-in-law was like, hey, she was like, are you sure that you're not pregnant? And I was like, no, like I'm not pregnant. And so at this point she was like the third person to tell me, are you sure you're not pregnant? And I was like, no, like I'm not pregnant, guys, like trust me. I wasn't gonna tell them I can't get pregnant, but I was just like, no, I'm not pregnant. So then I so happened to have had a extra pregnancy test in my drawer, and so then I took it. I took the test just to basically kind of show them like, all right guys, like I'm not sick, it's just I'm not pregnant, it's just like a virus that I have going on, because everyone in my household at my mom's house has like some kind of stomach virus. So I just wanted to basically prove to my boyfriend, my mother-in-law, and my mom that it was just this silly little virus, but it's like taking the most like toll on me. So then, oh, I'm using the e.l.f. putty blush, this one, and this one's in the shade, I think it's Tahiti. Yeah, it's in the shade Tahiti. So I'm just gonna use it to blush up a little bit. So anyways, where am I at? So anyways, I go to the restroom and I take this test, and usually when you take these pregnancy tests, it always tells you wait like a couple minutes for you to get your results, blah blah blah. So then as soon as I like take it, it immediately like it doesn't take a minute, it right away shows a positive result. And mind you, this was already like late at night, and I was just like, what, like what is, like what? And I was just super in shock. I was like, what? Like no way, like no, I'm not pregnant. And so then I like saw the second line, just get darker and darker and darker until, like, I kid you not, like, it was just dark. Like, both lines were present. And then I was just like, what? Like, am I pregnant? So then I call my boyfriend in and I'm like, yo, come in. And he comes in and then he's like, you're pregnant. And I was like, dude, I am. And I start crying and he's like, you're messing with me. And I'm like, no, like I think I'm actually pregnant. So then he has like the biggest mouth ever. So then he immediately calls his mom. He's like, mom, he's like, look, she's pregnant. And then she looks at the test. My mother-in-law looks at the test and she's like, what? She's like, she's pregnant. And so then I'm just like crying and like just in disbelief and in shock. So then I'm like, no, like, I don't believe it. Go to CVS right now and get me like another 2-pack. So then another 2-pack of like the pregnancy test. So then this was like already like almost midnight and I sent my boyfriend to CVS to go get another pack of pregnancy tests. So whatever, he goes, he comes back, and I take another one right away, and right away it shows like I'm pregnant again. Like, it doesn't even give you like it didn't even let me wait again. Like, the tests were just like blinking hard, like, yeah girl, you pregnant. And so then I was just like in disbelief. Oh, and I'm gonna set my face now with the Maybelline Fit Me translucent powder. And so I was just like, what? Like, I'm pregnant because, like, you know, I feel like when you're not too pregnant or like not far enough, so I've seen like on YouTube videos or whatever, like when you're not too far along, the lines barely show or like they don't come up right away. Well, no, these lines were like right away showing up, and I was just in disbelief. I did not believe it. So then I immediately, so after I stopped crying, I called my sister, my older sister, and I tell her, and she's like, what? No way. And then she starts crying, and then I'm like, oh my god, like, what now? Like, what do I do? Like, am I supposed to go to the doctor or something? Like, just like confirm it. And she's like, yeah, like, no duh, like, you're supposed to go to the doctor now, you know, get you started on like prenatals and things like that. And so then that next day, which was already Monday morning, I made my doctor's appointment, and then I went to the doctor. I think they gave me my appointment for like the next day, which was like a Tuesday. I go to the doctor. Oh, and now I'm gonna be using the Fit Me powder, the pressed powder in the shade Natural Beige, and I'm just using it to kind of highlight underneath my eyes. So anyways, I'm there on Tuesday at my doctor's appointment, and you know, they ask you the questions. They're like, all right, like, and they're like, what are you here for? And I was like, oh, I'm here for a pregnancy test. And they're like, what makes you think you might be pregnant? And I was like, because I had a positive pregnancy test. And they were like, oh, okay, like go ahead, go in. And then, okay, so now I'm gonna be using the MAC mineralized what is it, skin finish foundation? Yeah, the mineralized skin finish natural powder. And this is like a darker shade that I go like on the outer edges of my face, and I get a different brush for this. So then they immediately make me pee in a cup, and then like a couple minutes later they call me back to like the lab, and they're like, all right, we gotta draw your blood now. And so they drew my blood out, and then they immediately after that, like a couple minutes after that, they send me to like an actual like room, and they were like, all right, like wait here, a doctor's gonna come and speak with you. And I was like, oh, okay. And I'm like, damn, they're probably gonna tell me like, you're not pregnant, but girl, you fat, or something like that, you know. I just wasn't expecting them to come in and tell me anything like, oh, like you're pregnant. So then it wasn't even a doctor, she was like a nurse. Bronze up my face. So I'm gonna be using the Too Faced, this is the Sun Bunny bronzer. I love this bronzer, it looks like this. So I'm gonna just use a brush. And so anyways, I'm like there waiting, and then this nurse comes in, and she's like she doesn't even say like, oh, congratulations, or like, oh, your test results come out this way. She just comes in with this humongous like yellow packet, and like she just immediately starts saying, all right, like basically. So when she comes in, she brings in this like really thick pamphlet, and immediately she just starts spilling out like the plan basically. She's like, all right, like from weeks this and this, we're gonna take care of you. And she's like, after like, I think she said like 35 weeks or 36 weeks, she's like, you're gonna get passed on to your delivery doctor, this is your delivery doctor, blah blah. And I was just like confused, like my face was just like trying to calculate whatever was going on. And I was just like confused. I was like, so I'm pregnant. And then she just kind of looked at me like yeah, like you're pregnant. And I was like, oh wow, okay. And then like she also had like the pamphlet where it's like, okay, like, you know, like what your other options are if you don't want to go with like, you know, keeping the baby or whatever. And then I was just like, oh, like no, like I'll keep my baby. But anyway, she still like gave me like the other pamphlets, you know. They have to give them to you. So then I was just there like, what? Like I'm actually pregnant. And then I think, I'm not sure if it was the exact same day, I think it might have been like a different appointment. She was like, all right, like we'll see you like next week. Wait, no, yes, actually they were like, all right, like we'll see you next week. And I was like, oh, okay. And they were like, yeah, like we're gonna basically, no, it wasn't even next week, it was like another day, like the day after or something, on like a Wednesday, because that's when they have like their ultrasound technicians there, and that's like their busiest like ultrasound day. So then oh, I'm using this BH Cosmetics blush palette. I don't know what this palette is called. It's called the Bellini palette. So, and I do love a lot of blush. So then they make my appointment, I think, for like literally the next day, and I go home and I tell my boyfriend, I'm like, yep, like I'm pregnant, but they want me to go tomorrow to basically get like everything, like prenatals and like basically an ultrasound as well. And so, you know, we go the next day, and it was exactly that. We, you know, the doctor spoke with me, and then we got our ultrasound, and they were like, oh, like you might be, like it might be, what was it, they did the ultrasound first, like the one over your stomach, and they couldn't see anything. So then they had to do like another kind of ultrasound, and they saw it, and then they saw like, you know, the little sac and everything, and it was so cute. Like it was just like a little tiny like bean. And then they're like, oh, like chances are like we might not hear a heartbeat or anything just yet, like it might be too early. Oh, basically they were trying to do like the works on me because I didn't have like, you know, a most recent period, you know, or periods kind of like go off by, to kind of estimate how far along I could have been. So then they try to measure it and they were like, oh, you're like 6 weeks, like 6 weeks, 6 weeks, blah. They were like, you're 6 weeks in. And they try to listen to the heart, and right away my baby had like the strongest heartbeat ever. I think I remembered his heartbeat rate was like at 162, and I was like, oh shoot, like you can hear it. And my boyfriend was in the room and he started crying, and then I was just like, oh my god, like there's a baby, like he wasn't like formed or anything. He was like a little, like literally like a little like piece of rice or something, like a little piece of bean. And it was just like the cutest thing ever, because we immediately, like, you can like hear his little heartbeat, and it was just like the cutest thing ever. I'm gonna be using this NYX Epic ink liner just to do my eyeliner. And so then they show us the heartbeat, and I was just so excited and I was so happy, and I was like, wow, like this baby is real. So then they gave me my prenatals, and then I think I had a next appointment like 2 weeks after that, and then it was like every 2 weeks. My appointments were falling like every 2 weeks, and then pretty much. And let me tell you guys, pregnancy, oh my god, it is no joke. Like, it takes the biggest toll on you ever. My first trimester was just wild. My first trimester was wild. I was just like surprised how this little tiny little bean has so much power and control over my body. It is insane. Like, especially like being so small in your first trimester. Morning sickness is not just morning sickness. It is literally like all day sickness. You feel sick the whole day, like nauseous, and I did. You just feel tired, exhausted for like no reason. You know what, in my first trimester I feel like I was going to the restroom so often. Like, I felt like I was peeing like 2 times in, like at least twice or 3 times in a night. Not compared to now. I'm in my 3rd trimester. Oh, I'm actually 7.5 months pregnant now. Oh, yeah, so I'm 7.5 months pregnant. But you guys, now I'm in my 3rd trimester officially, and I use the restroom so often. Like, I wake up like 3 or 4 times a night to go pee. I just drenched my face with the Makeup Revolution Super Fix Super Hold Misting Spray. This is just kind of mattify your face like the whole day, because I'll be working and I need this makeup to stay on. Oh, and then like my 2nd trimester, I feel like went by so quick. Like, I feel like my 2nd trimester was just like a breeze, you know, it was cool. And right now I'm in 3rd trimester. Like, it's cool now too. Like, there's nothing like, no like weird complications or anything like that. But it's on me. Like, I don't know if it's on me or not, but I ended up getting gestational diabetes, and so I've been controlling like my blood sugar levels and everything like that, and I'm actually doing really good. My doctor, so they did not put me on insulin. They were like, you know what, like, we think you can handle this on your own without taking insulin. So they're like, if we see that, you know, your sugars are just way out of control, we'll put you on insulin. But it's already been like a month and a half, and my numbers are like pretty low and almost like borderline of not even having it, between having it and not even having it. So then now they're like, all right, like, poke yourself for before breakfast, after breakfast, before dinner, and after dinner, and then basically just like monitor your numbers. And my numbers have been great. Like my numbers have been really good. I think I've been doing a really good job. If anything, I even lost weight. Oop, I burped. If anything, I lost weight, but I feel like it's because I'm just losing like you know, the weight of like unhealthy carbs and all that. So I'm gonna use this MAC blush in the shade Petal Power, and I love how this has like a little bit of gold in there. It makes your cheeks look dewy and radiant. So for my highlighter, I go with a matching sparkly highlighter, and I'll be using this Jeffree Star Super Frost, and just putting a little. This is my little how I found out I was pregnant story time. Pregnancy overall has been the biggest journey. It is no joke. It is so many things in one, and honestly, I wouldn't trade it for the world. I think it's been such a growing experience for me, and not only for me, for my partner as well. And I feel like we're doing pretty good. Like, if anything, this journey just brought us even closer than before. And like now we live with each other, and you know, there's just so many things that I feel like we're accomplishing together. So I'm very happy about that. And yeah, pretty much. So that'll be it for today's video. I'll see you guys next time. Stay tuned for those pregnancy vlogs, because like I said, pregnancy is a whole journey. And you know, I shout out to all the moms out there, because you guys, it's not that easy. It's not that easy being pregnant, at least not like in my experience so far. It hasn't been the easiest thing, because you know, like I said, pregnancy just takes like the biggest toll on your body. But yeah, shout out to all the moms out there because girl, and I'm not even at the hardest part yet. Like, I feel like delivery is gonna be the hardest part, and it's like, whoa, I'm getting closer to that. And ooh, I'm just so excited. I'm so excited to have, you know, a little mini me version of me and my boyfriend, you know. So I'm excited for that. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.